So, welcome to day 3 at TechEd. I'm pretty sure you saw enough slides, you did listen enough for music. We thought, starting in a different way. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the next 75 minutes. And are we ready yet? Yeah?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, let's start. First of all, warning. You are going to see some stuff which you are not allowed to do in real life without permission. Even in your own network. I mean, at home, do whatever you like, but in your corporate environment, please do not test out if you don't have any permissions. Most of the stuff that you are going to see today is just to, as I said in my other 2 sessions, wake you up. I'm pretty sure all of you are awake, but we want to show how hackers trick you, how they get access to you, and how you can use Windows to mitigate this kind of attacks. Do we agree on this? Yes? Cool. All right. My name is Erdal Özkaya. I work for Chem Technologies. You might wonder what Chem Technologies does. They do sell load balancers. But I do also work at Charles Sturt University. So I am one of the lecturers there. I teach master classes, as you can guess, on security. I teach ethical hacking classes, or so we call it. Probably you see it. I'm also a certified ethical instructor, a licensed penetration tester. So my job is to make sure that you guys, the good guys, learn how to stop the bad guys. Again, probably you also noticed my accent. For the ones who was in my session, I can see a few of them. You already know this joke, but let me do it one more time. Seriously, the accent is not my fault. Let me tell you why. Turkish parents, made in Germany, living in Australia, and this is what's coming out. So, promise you're going to get the encryption key within 3 to 4 minutes. So it should be fine, okay? I hope so. If you see you don't understand me, just raise your hand, hit Raymond, and I take the message. Raymond?
I'll try the translation for you. Well, my name is Raymond Convalius. I am an architect and trainer from the Netherlands. I'm independent since 15 years. I did write a couple of books. My first book is not on this slide. I call it My Miserable Failure, Windows Vista for XP Professionals. I don't know whoever did the upgrade. It's no longer on the market. Windows 7 for XP Professionals is also no longer on the market. It's a free download now. And on a daily basis, I am an architect that helps large companies to upgrade to the modern technology. Earl.
That's me, right? Okay. Probably you know, Microsoft is doing, we are not for Microsoft, so we're going to show you the good and the bad, as much as we can. So Microsoft is doing really lots of improvement. I don't know if you tested yourself. Windows 8 or 8.1, update 1, is much more secure than Windows 7. For the ones that didn't notice that, he's going to show you a couple of cool stuff. But again, the bad guys are not just waiting for Microsoft for the improvements, right? They're doing some other stuff as well. Keep in mind, there are 2 types of organizations. One, who knows they have been hacked. 2, they are still not aware they've been hacked. So the question here is, please, do you know any big organization, let me know if you know one, who is not hacked yet? So if not, I'm going to... All right. So I think everybody knows most of the big corporations, organizations, governments were hacked. Governments started to hire professional hackers. Sorry, security professionals. I don't know if you know, like one of the big economies, big population country, last year they collected around 7 terabyte data from others, officially. I mean, unofficially, I don't know what you want to call it. All right, moving forward, there's going to be, again, 2 types of organizations. One, they are ready for this kinds of attack, like you guys. Why? You are here to learn. You could be outside partying, but thank you again, you took the time. Full room, nearly 1,200 people. We are really excited. But number 2 is, they don't They're still sticking to Windows XP, saying Windows XP is nice, and to be honest, it was. But please, I'm going to show you some old tools, which is still working on Windows 8.1, Update 1. Okay, as you know, attackers are putting all their efforts to take your identity. Your identity, I mean, I did mention in a few other sessions, your identity is your most valuable stuff. Why? Because these days, once I get your identity, I can get a credit card, I can get a passport, I can go kill someone as you. If you think this is only happening in the movies, please read the news. And again, if you check the news, we're getting more and more security news, right? Based on what is happening in cyber criminals. 30, 40 years ago, Godfather used to be a popular movie. Yeah, mafia, people around him. But now, things has changed. Cyber criminal movies are getting more popular. I mean, don't forget, movies are just indication of real life. Okay, so there is an important shift in the bad guys. If you think your credit card is secure, if you think you can't really buy everything what you like from the internet, you are wrong. You want me to prove it for you? Please look in the slide. And this is not from my usual web browser. I'm telling you, for this you have to connect to a different type of web browser, which I'm not allowed to talk here, but please come and see me after the session. I will tell you how you can reach these kinds of information. Look at this. They are all real. You can buy drugs. You can buy weapons. I mean, this is America. You can buy weapons anyway, Houston, Texas. But I'm just talking about the rest of the part of the world, you know, which you can't. And so why I'm showing you this? Don't worry, I'm not here. I mean, some of the guys wrote it the other day in the feedback. He just was trying to scare us. No, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm showing you the fact. It's up to you to take medications or not. All right, and I would like to give a credit to my friend, Dan Weiss. He's in Australia, you know. He's one of my students who learned penetration testing from me. Now he's in the field. He did send me actually these 2 slides, so thank you for him. He's going to watch this, I'm sure. All right. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see slides, you want to see demos, right? So now what we're going to do is,
I'll take care of it.
I'm just going to quickly tell you, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to create a virus. Because if I tell you, hey guys, I got some freebies here to give away. Here's a USB stick. Who wants it for free? Beautiful. What is if I tell you there is a Trojan inside, a rootkit? It's a 32 gig Windows to go, which has nothing on it. So you will get it off me. Why? You know it's been sponsored by Microsoft. I'm an academic, look like a decent guy. Right? All right, but what if I'm dirty, sweaty, you saw me running, and I'm going, guys, here's a wallet, free, full of money. Will you take it off me?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. So, look, just to make a clear distinction. Again, I'm not against free software. I'm against cracked software. And I'm going to do a live feedback. Who never downloaded a cracked software? Hands up. Downloaded a cracked software. A software which is not cracked. Wow, everybody, all the hands, beautiful. Not even one? Okay. Ebook, cracked ebook. No? Hand this up. MP3. There we go. Okay, why do you think they give it to you for free? Seriously. Do they love you? Do they have Microsoft or the fruit company who produce popular phone? Or the search engine company who makes good phones? Okay, so let's go back to the topic. They add something in it. And you think there's no virus. Quickly, I'm going to demonstrate to you how they create viruses. For that, I'm going to use a very old tool in a Windows 2008. I can do it in a 2012, no difference. Called one exe maker. It's really hard to find it on the internet. Look, I know Raymond, my victim, he loves games. I think he loves, I mean, like anybody else. Could be, this is a beautiful game here, Tetris. Let me just play. Sorry, guys, can you give me 5 minutes? I can't stop playing. You know, that's my game. Notice the size, 200 kilobyte. Okay?
I want that game.
You want that game?
Yes, I want it.
Add. I'm just going back to my game. Should be in the desktop to make my life easier. That's the hacker, by the way. Tetris, 200 kilobyte. Now, he wants a game, but I'm going to give him a bonus. Buy one, get one free.
I like that.
Add file.
I'm from the Netherlands. I want more than just.
What would you like to get, sir?
Free.
I got some viruses or Trojans. All right, Trojans. What kind of Trojan would you like? Trojan types. BlackBerry Trojan, botnet Trojan, FTP Trojan, email Trojan, Mac OS Trojan. There is no need for Android. It's inbuilt. Let's get remote access Trojan. Thief sounds nice. So I'm getting the server. Now, I didn't show you the size, right? Let me show you the size, Trojan types. Come on, don't stress the rule. Remote Trojan, thief. An old virus, I know that, don't make any complaints. Server, around 600, 700 kilobyte, okay? Now, save. Take it, rocks. Or I call it free stuff, you know, I done the pre-demo. Free stuff. Save it in that drive here. Free stuff, I don't know if you noticed, it did combine the game as well as the virus. And you go ahead and download as one. For you, sir, for your ebook, we have a different demo where Raymond is gonna give you one free ebook. Hey, not your book, right?
No, not my book.
Okay. Just in case. You just told him you're going to give free ebook, and this was not in the context. Sorry.
It's free for download on
my
website. Huh?
Now this is Raymond. The victim, enjoy. He's going to that underground website. We are not going to do that. He's downloading that software, Tetris.
Let's see, where is it? Where did you put the software for me?
Trojan shortcut. I thought we practiced that. Trojan.
So here's my game.
Sorry for the mess. You got the idea, right? It's just to...
I want to run my free stuff.
Ah.
Yeah, the game. It's working, Erdl.
Yeah.
How nice.
Yeah, it's good. Enjoy it. Dear victim, do you mind open Netstate and show them what you already started to send to me? So you're going to see that this poor guy, while he's enjoying his free XXX movie, or Hollywood movie, or Bollywood movie, or I leave it up to your imagination, he started to send me some packages.
Is this the one?
Yeah. Now I'm going to my Windows 8. I'm a hacker who's using Windows 8. And I do use Windows 8 in real life, believe it or not.
He's a modern hacker.
Ethical one, remember? What happened to my machines? Windows 8. Beautiful. What I'm going to do is, just to show you what I do usually, I go and, I don't blame you, I have so many viruses. Even I don't know where they are. So I'm installing, I'm just running the client. Now, look at this. I'm pretty sure you cannot see it. Look at this, probably Control-4. I know his IP address, why? Remember? He did start to send me sync packages. Hey, I know it's internal IP, right? I'm not doing it live at the moment. So, it's very hard, guys. Rocket science. All what I have to do is click connect. Connect. Hey, look at this. I'm in his PC. Let me get some information about his PC. Computer information, PC details. His name is administrator. That's his computer details. It could be anything. OS info, network drives. I can go take some screen capture. Refresh, it should just come up now. And this is screen capture. You don't believe me? Raymond, can you please go to your machine? Type something. Do you get the idea, ladies and gentlemen? So I know it's an old virus. I know it's a demonstration. If you really trust yourself, come and see me after the session. I'm more than happy to test it on your PC as well, okay? No problem. So the idea here is people use these tricks to fool us. And as a result, I'm going back to my PC. As a result, let's get another screen capture. Just refresh. All right. Thank you very much. Go away. All right, it's not going to work. Let's go to Task Manager. I can see all his tasks. Here's my beautiful game. And I don't know if you noticed. No, you don't. It's too small. I don't know if you noticed. My thief virus, usually they don't name it thief, okay? They name it windows.exe or something which they can fool you.
Didn't you have a keylogger in there?
Yeah, keylogger. I'm going to do the keylogger as well. So I'm just going to get a new, hey, this is very confidential. That's live from the screen. There are better ones like Conflictor these days. Let me go to keylogger. I'm just going to activate my keylogger. And very quickly to demonstrate, my poor guy is going to stop. I don't know what he's going to do.
Oh, I will just, well, this is very confidential information. Let's put all my passwords in here. This is my most popular password.
Password. Yesterday I captured live password from my active machine. Please watch the recording from yesterday. It was a social engineering. I done it as well, so you can watch the other sessions. So I'm trying not to do double stuff. Hey, look at this. I think you all understand the basics, right? Now, you do see why and how they trick us. So back to the your favorite stuff, to the slides. I think we all understand it. Once upon a time, hacking was hard because hackers used to aim your servers. I don't know if you remember NT4, IIS, which was one of the most hacked web server in the world. But Microsoft done a big jump, and to be honest, I don't know any hack at the moment yet. About Server 2012, R2, I didn't find too many IIS hacks about Windows 7.5, I mean IIS 7.5. So hacking to servers getting harder. Why? Can somebody answer me? Because firewalls, security rules, patching.
Well, I know the main reason. We are getting better.
We are getting better, right? Or the cloud infrastructure service. Don't worry about the government organization who's sniffing it. This is excluded. This is.
Well, I know one more reason. I think the main reason is that those hackers are looking for the weakest point in our security. Oh. Now, the weakest point is not at the professionals. The professionals are handling the servers.
Don't tell who this. Who's the weakest point? Who said use it first? Don't hit your... So, us, because we like free stuff, not free software, okay? Not freeware software. Stuff which costs lots of money. We like to get it for free. And as all of you raise your hands, we don't do it. I know our end users does it. We are IT pros. We don't do it, right? I know that as well. So hacking is getting harder. So things has shifted from yesterday to today. Today, hackers aim at end users, which we call it client-side attack. We got web browsers. Just 2 weeks ago, IE 11 was patched. It wasn't IE's fault. It was Flash who has the vulnerability. But again, people don't try to hack your infrastructure as service. They hack your web browsers. Email clients. People still, yesterday I did demonstrate it, people still click in the links, enter their username and passwords. There are some guys, for the ones that are listening, I'm pointing myself, there are some guys getting access, or they're sniffing the information. Instant messaging. Anything you name it, Skype, Gtalk, MSN is not there, and all others, Yahoo, Messenger. People are still sending spam messages in between, isn't it? Streaming multimedia players. While you're watching a beautiful free movie, which is vulnerable, you saw what can happen in the background. FTP clients, web-enabled applications, services, software engineering. Please go watch the session from yesterday. And TBA, to be advised. So even I don't know yet. As an academic, it's my job to research it. That's why I'm doing my PhD in IT security.
Well,
Okay?
I see one part missing on this slide deck. The operating system. Operating system.
Yeah, operating system as well, but we're going to protect the operating system, right? That's the idea of the session.
I think the operating system is getting better.
Yes. Okay, why are they successful? First of all, because of us. Why? Because we lack of common sense or good judgment. We get fooled. Then, sometimes, while we're concentrating too much to protect the endpoint, the front point, which is our service, we forget about the endpoint. What happens, especially with BYOD, things going to be harder to manage. Yeah, I know, we have remote scanning, but who had proper internet access that week? In the hotel or at TechEd? So many IT geeks, of course, it's not going to work properly, right? So what is if there is an urgent update, which I'm pushing towards you, and your internet is not good enough to get the update? Do you get the point? Misbehavior, ignoring, assuming that you're secure, assuming that you're up to date. So these are some of the client attacks 6 methods. So vulnerabilities, as I said, poor defense, malicious HTTP requests, lack of maintenance. Again, I'm going to stop the slides, and what I'm going to do is we are going to show you now how we can actually protect ourselves. I done the demo, so I know it's your turn. I done the demo, remember? That's how we will get tracked.
So to get protected, it's not a single trick. We have to start protection from the bottom up. We have to start at the data layer. The data layer is hard. Let's show hands. Who has implemented RMS, the rights management? I see 5% of the room, maybe. That's the way to protect your data properly, but it's hard. And we have to do it bottom up. We have not just the data, because the data probably is hard to protect, so we protect our applications. We try to protect the hosts. We implement firewalls. We implement antivirus software, anti-malware software. Try to protect the internal network, which is also very hard, especially because of cables everywhere, trying to manage it. We try to make sure that our perimeter is well protected, that we don't allow connections from the outside in, but we have to allow our bring your own device, our phones that are connecting to our mail infrastructure and stuff like that. The physical part, well, the doors may be locked, maybe not. And then there is layer 8, the users, who have to make sure that policies and procedures and the awareness is there. So Rule number 1, to make sure that your systems are protected, is about least privilege. Make sure that you are not an administrator on your systems. And this is hard, especially for us IT pros. But this is rule number 1.
And this is the proof. I know you saw the slide in my other session before. This is an interesting slide by a research done by that company there, Aquero or something like that. Most of the marks of vulnerabilities could be stopped while just getting the admin rights removed. Let's be honest, very honest. Who is really strictly following this rule? Look, I know this room can handle 1,200 people, and I can see only 3 or 4, not even 1%. Okay, 5 or 6, I add you in. Including myself. And you know what I tell my students or IT gurus like yourself? Do what I say. Don't do what I do. All right? This is golden rule. So, Raymond, okay, how can we mitigate the operating system? So, we said defense as well, right? It's in the title. I know otherwise they're going to complain. You said mitigation, so can you show it to us?
Yeah, well, okay. I just started this story about being an administrator. Because the hardest part for a hacker, if you are a standard user, is to become the administrator. And if you already are the administrator, you're making it so much simpler for the attacker. Because, in fact, the only way to become an admin on a Windows box is by using a zero-day exploit that I don't know of, probably you don't know of, and most of the hackers don't know of. So that's the hardest part. And if you say, well, I can't because I have to be the administrator, then there is user account control. Let's show some hands. Who turned off user account control on Windows 7 or Server 2008 R2?
Can I ask a better question?
That's painful.
Who did not turn it off on Windows Vista? Only a few of you.
Okay, there is user account control. It will make it a little bit harder for the attacker to elevate from the standard user to the administrator, because you have to click OK sometime in this well-known UI to become elevated and get all the rights and privileges that belong to the administrator. But user account control, as Mark Krasinovic said it, is not a security boundary. In fact, it was made to make developers aware of the fact that users were not supposed to be an administrator. So it will not help you. If you want to be more secure, just make sure that you log on as a standard user, not as an administrator. Then IE has special protections in there. If you have user account control not turned off, if it's still working, then IE will do something special when you're browsing the internet. It will use the integrity levels, which is mandatory access control in Windows. And it works as such that every process that you run as a standard user has the medium integrity level. Now, if you start Internet Explorer and browse to an internet website, it will start this process for this internet access with the low integrity level. And running with low integrity level, it will only be able to make changes to your system to objects that also have the low integrity level. Well, all the objects on your system have the medium integrity level. So there are only very few places in the operating system where IE running to browse the internet can make changes to your system. It cannot even send messages to other processes that are already running, because those are running at the medium integrity level. If you're running as admin, you're running at the high integrity level. And if you turn off user account control and are running IE, all your IE processes are running at the high integrity level, meaning that IE, if it is being exploited from the internet, will be able to change everything on your system. While under normal circumstances, it will run at the low integrity level, and it will only be able to do this for the low integrity level stuff.
It's easy to say. Can you show it?
Yes, I can show it. Let's show it on my demo machine. This is my demo machine. I have a demo here. Let's start WordPad. WordPad. I just start WordPad, and WordPad is running at the medium integrity level, and I can show that using Process Explorer. Let's find my new process. Where's my mouse? WordPad. It's running here, and just to make sure that I see everything, I'll restart it. And my WordPad is.
So what are you doing at the moment?
And WordPad is running at the high integrity level.
Oh, okay.
I don't get it. Oh yes, I get it. I started WordPad as an administrator from my administrative console. Let's close this one. Let's close WordPad and start all over again. That was the administrator part. Run the command prompt as a standard user. User account control is turned on. Move to my tools directory, start WordPad. And it's starting now, and here's my WordPad process running at the medium integrity level. Now we'll start WordPad at the low integrity level. For that I will use PSExec with the low. And here's WordPad running at the low integrity level. Here's my new WordPad. So here is low integrity. Okay. And here is my first WordPad. Medium integrity. Now I can save this file from the medium integrity level to my documents folder. Now I can try this with my low integrity level process, like this. I am now in my documents folder, I gave it a name, I'm trying to save it, and it says, well, you're not allowed to do it. Because my documents folder is at the medium integrity level, my process is running at the low integrity level. So my process cannot make any changes to this folder. The only way I can make changes is to go to a special folder that has the low integrity level. Well, there is one, and it's in my profile. It's in the app data folder. Because if you look here in app data, you see a local folder and a local low folder. And the local low folder is one of those folders that has the low integrity level. So if I try to save my file here, it will just do it. Something else is going on with these low level and integrity level processes is that they are limited in their communication. So the medium integrity level process is able to send messages to low integrity level processes, no problem. And I can show it like this. I take my medium integrity level process here. I will add a picture.
That's a good one. That was session last year, right?
That was last year.
Highly recommended. Go and watch it. Powered. What's next? And in this session, we did talk how you can remove viruses from Windows without any other tools. You can watch it from channel 9.
I can send messages from the medium integrity level to the low integrity level, like this. But what if I try to do it the other way around? Let's delete the picture here. Take my low integrity level process and drag it to the medium integrity level. You see? It doesn't work.
So a quick question here. Yesterday I did demonstrate. For the ones that didn't watch it, please go watch the social engineering session. I know you were there. Yesterday I had a text file which I attached a virus. So could I say if it's very low integrity, I could not infect the user, right?
If your Internet Explorer where you were opening the text file was running at the low integrity level, no, it could not do anything to your system.
Do you see the point what we're trying to say? Some mitigation method.
Okay, let's go back to the slides. So the low integrity level does this for you. This is by using the protected mode in Internet Explorer. And the limitation is such that if you download a file with Internet Explorer and want to save it in your downloads folder, Internet Explorer will call a separate helper process to do the download for you and save it over there. And then there's this kind of firewall that will allow the low integrity level process to send this message to the helper process and download it to the folder where you want it. Otherwise, this would not be possible by using Internet Explorer.
Can I ask a question? All right. Who is using IE as a default browser? Me too. Who is not? So, for the recording people, everybody's using IE here? All right, so but what about Google Chrome and Firefox? And Safari, maybe?
Not all browsers are using these integrity levels. Firefox is not, as far as I know. And I think that's because for Firefox, all extra functionality. To provide all this extra functionality, medium integrity level is required. Chrome, on the other hand, is using integrity levels, and they're doing it extensively. Let me show you this. This is nice. This is my machine. Now I will start. Oh, I already started IE. Let's see, I have IE running here. And if you look here, I have IE running, and there are 3 processes. The processes are here. It has one medium level process, which is kind of the mother of all IE processes running. And then there are processes running for each window browsing the internet, and those are at the low integrity level. If you're browsing your intranet, those processes will run at the medium integrity level. So now I will start Google Chrome. Let's start Google Chrome and see what happens. Where is Chrome?
I can't see it.
I can't see it either. What happened?
There it is.
There it is. And now Google is doing something really, really interesting. Google Chrome. It immediately starts like 5 processes. And those processes are running at the medium integrity level, at the low integrity level, and at the untrusted integrity level. The guys at Google must have been thinking, we can do things better than Microsoft. They went one level lower than low. And they called it untrusted. So at least Google is trying to be more secure than Microsoft is. And they also have the same mechanism of using helper processes. I don't know if it is safer than IE, but at least they try to do their best.
All right, next year we are not at TechEd, but doesn't matter. The statement, what they said.
So this is Windows 8. And this is what happens when you disable user account control in Windows 8. You will not be able to open any modern application. This is the message that you will get. Can't open while user account control is turned off. And this is because Microsoft added extra security to the modern applications. Modern applications, they are running in a sandbox, what Microsoft calls the app container. Meaning that every app that you start has its own security ID. You will also notice that each app that you install on Windows 8, it will be installed in Windows app folder, and it will get its own folder, and the app folder is secured with a security ID that belongs to the application. Such that the process running the application can only access the files and folders within that folder, and not outside of that folder. If you want to do something with a modern app outside of the folder where the app is located, you have to have access to helper processes that will do the job for you. So if you want to browse your documents, you have to call another process to browse that folder for you, because the app itself will not be able to do so. It's also running at the low integrity level. So those apps are really more secure, and they are never running at the medium integrity level. Microsoft also added extra protection in Windows 8 for IE. We already knew protected mode. And then there is something in Windows 8 that's called enhanced protected mode. And what enhanced protected mode does is that it uses the app container functionality for IE. So as soon as you enable enhanced protected mode for IE in Windows 8, the only place it will be able to go is inside its own folder, running as an app container. The default for the modern IE is running in enhanced protected mode. The default for IE on the desktop is just run as itself. And then there is one funny thing going on. There is enhanced protected mode in Windows 7. But there are no app containers in Windows 7. So what happens in Windows 7 when you enable enhanced protected mode is that it will open all the content processes, not as 32-bit processes, but 64-bit processes, which also will be harder to exploit than the 32-bit processes. And also this is very easy to see in Windows. If I open IE, in the Internet Options, Advanced, in the Security section, there is an option that says Enable Enhanced Protected Mode. I just enabled it. And if it's enabled, all you have to do is close IE and reopen IE to see the results. Here's my new IE process, now running in an app container. So it's more secure because it's now running in the sandbox called the app container. So is there more?
All right. When it comes to antiviruses, what do we say always? You know.
Antivirus is old school.
Do you think your antivirus will help you just to protect from everything else? Any hands? Yeah? Look, based on Symantec, Senior Vice President for Information Security estimates antivirus now catches just 45% of cyber attacks. It was last week on the news. I'm not saying that. I mean, I used to say it for years, but nobody believed me. When Wall Street Journal writes it, they believe it. So the question here is, how effective are antiviruses? Probably you watch Marcus and Hussein session. They did done it. If not, please join. I'm going to have a free ethical hacking course via Charles Sturt University online, where you can go to my blog and sign up. Okay? 5-week course. If you pass, you will get also, if you pass the exam, a certificate. I'm going to show you how they create viruses and how they bypass antiviruses. It's out of the scope for today. But please keep in mind, antiviruses is just to make hackers' job harder. That's the only thing which you can do anyway.
Well, my experience is that antivirus will make it harder for you to download the usual suspects. So if there is well-known software that you download and that you probably don't like to have on your systems, then antivirus will warn your end user that you just downloaded it. Then Microsoft has something else as an added security. EMET, the Enhanced Mitigation Experience Toolkit. I remember I downloaded one of the first versions a few years ago, and I was heavily impressed how it worked. I didn't understand a bit about it, and I left it. But it's now at version 4, and currently version 5 is in technology preview, and what it does, it will help you to harden your legacy applications in such a way that exploits that usually will work on these applications will no longer work when you're running EMET. And that's funny. How do they do that? Well, we started earlier saying that the operating system got much more secure. That's because the operating system is using all sorts of extra measurements like data execution protection, ASLR, address, space, location, randomization, stuff like that, to make sure that buffer overflow attacks no longer work. And the thing is that all these features are enabled by default for the operating system, but most of them are not enabled by default for the software that you're running on the operating system. So the operating system is no longer the target, the software that you're running on it is the target. And what EMET does, it enables those features for the software that is not using these features by default. Such that most buffer overflow attacks will just no longer work. because all these measurements are now in place, these mitigations are in place. And EMET 5 has even some extra features in there, like verifying the SSL certificate trust. Who remembers the great hack that happened in the Netherlands 2 years ago? Did you know that?
Come on, Netherlands guy.
That was a major scandal, because we had a well-known, trusted CA in the Netherlands, and we were proud of it. Some of us were. We are no longer proud about it. But they were hacked. And the problem is they were hacked in such a way that the hackers were able to create a certificate for Google and provide it to servers in Iran, so that people in Iran were no longer secured by SSL because the keys were known, and the Iranian government was able to find all the information that they were sending to Google. With SSL certificate verification in place with EMET, you can tell EMET, well, this certificate from Google has to come from this certain CA. The certificates from Microsoft have to come from that CA. And if there is a different CA that's normally trusted, suddenly creating certificates for that website, EMET will warn you. And all these features are implemented using the application compatibility framework that's already in Windows. And it's been used always for application compatibility, but in EMET it's used for mitigation. You can implement EMET, and by default it will protect Office and it will protect extra parts of Windows, but it will not start protecting your applications immediately. You will have to add all your applications to EMET before it will start protecting them. I can show how this works. Let's go to my demo system. Here. And what I have here is I have just installed my new browser, of my new PDF reader, and my new PDF reader is called Cool PDF Reader.
Can I give you a clue? I did send it to him.
Just
a clue, just a clue.
And this is a nice, cool PDF reader, and I can open all sorts of files. This is the EMET user guide. It will just work. But at one day, this PDF reader became vulnerable. Hackers found an exploit, and they could exploit it like this. They could create any PDF file and make it do anything they wanted, like this. I open this PDF file, and it will not open the PDF reader, it will open the calculator.
You're a good guy. Instead of a virus, you injected calculator.
Yes. Or if I open this PDF, I will just get hacked.
And please check the URL. It's live at the moment. By the way, sorry, the sir at the back who said he did download PDFs. That's the result.
What can we do to prevent this? Because the PDF will never be recognized as malware. I can create a new PDF instantly, and it will never be found as a piece of malware. So how can I prevent this kind of attack? Well, of course we have to be updated. The last version of Cool PDF Reader no longer has this bug, so it will not work anymore. But if I don't want it to work in the first place and never wanted it to work, I can use EMET. I have EMET installed on this system. And by default, EMET has a list of apps that it protects. So here you see Acrobat, Java, parts of Office that are protected, and here are the various protection mitigations. Those are all nice acronyms that I'm learning by head now. And you can turn these measurements on for each and every application that you're running. So if I want to turn this measurement on for the Cool PDF Reader, let's start a PDF reader. And go back to Emmet and refresh. So where's the cool PDF reader? On
Top.
It should be on top. Oh, here it is, yes.
Yep.
Now let's protect it, configure the process. Oh, it's already in the list. Here it is in the list, and I can enable the mitigations here. So by enabling the mitigations, I will turn on all these measurements, all these mitigations, that will protect this process from being misused by an exploit that's using a buffer overflow. So let's click OK. Close my PDF reader and retry opening one of my hacked PDFs. You see, nothing happens. I double-clicked it. It just crashed. Well, let's see. Probably you should be able to see it from here. Cool PDF reader. It crashed and it's gone. And there is no new process. There is no hack. Because I just told Emmet, well, this application should be protected. Turn on all these features so that a buffer overflow will not affect it and that the exploit will no longer work. And you can do this for all your applications, but make sure that you test before you implement it for all your users. And then you can use group policies and stuff like that to make sure that all your systems have the same mitigations implemented.
And I guess this is free from Microsoft.com, right?
Yes. Okay, and then over the past years we've been having this attack, pass the hash. Probably it's been the simplest hack ever. And what it does, it steals the credentials from memory. And in such a way that you don't even have to crack the password to get hold of the credentials and misuse them. And it's so simple that even your mom can do it.
Not my man.
I'm sure that even your mom can do it. It took me like 10 minutes to make this work. And what did Microsoft say about it? Well, their first advice was, make sure you do not get hacked.
It was on the website. We didn't make it up.
We didn't make it up, no. But the main lesson, as always, is make use of least privilege. Don't use any accounts with high privileges on your system, especially users. Who has end users that are logging on as local administrator? Dangerous.
So when you see it on the slide, run on least privileges, I bet all the guys who raise their hands, you know it.
You know it.
You know, it's like the song. I know it, but I still do it. You know, I changed the song a little bit.
Okay, but probably you think, well, this is a user that has administrative privileges on their local systems. So they cannot do anything outside of their local system. They can do everything on their local system. Well, that's true. Until you install a service that's running as domain admin, or you're logging on as domain admin on one of those systems, and know that your end user running as local administrator is then able to get his or her hands on your credentials being the domain administrator. And it's as simple as this. Let's show it for once. I think it's the 8th time at this conference it's shown, but is anyone who has not seen the demo yet? Okay, cool. I'm happy to see that there are a few people that still have not seen the demo yet. If you're running Windows 7, you're really, really vulnerable. If you're running Windows 8 or 8.1, you're less vulnerable for now.
One is really, really, the other one is just really.
Yeah. It's not so easy to find on Google or Bing.
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 And I'm going to show you right after that how the hackers do that.
Okay, let's start a command prompt. Running as administrator on my Windows 7 system. And use the tool that I downloaded, which is conveniently called the Windows Credential Editor. And what it does, it shows me the hashes of all users that are currently logged on to my system. Well, that's convenient. Currently, it's only me and its local system. But what if my domain administrator is logging on to my system? Let's switch users. And log on as the domain administrator. So now the domain administrator is logged on to my system, and switch back to my local administrator, which was already logged on. Here's my local administrator. And now, let's do it like this. Run the command again. So now I have 3 users logged on. It's me, admin, it's the domain administrator, and there is local system. Now what if I want to be the domain administrator? Well, it's just as simple as this. WCE, Windows Credential Editor, -S, set my credentials. And the credentials that I like to have are the ones of my administrator. Okay, I am the domain administrator. And just to prove it, I can now try to do a dir on my domain controller. And just get the list. I am the domain administrator now. I can start using computers, start managing the domain, do anything I want. So, what can we do about this? Well, until yesterday, I thought the only thing was upgrade. To do was upgrade. Well, Marcus Inovich just told me it's not just upgrade. Microsoft is doing something about this. They are taking measurements, and they have taken measurements in Windows 8.1 and Server 2012 R2. First, they made sure that the local security administrator service is more secure. They are hardening it. They hardened it, but it will not be hardened by default unless you're running Windows 8.1 RT. But there is one registry key that you can turn on, and then LSASS is hardened, and then it will be much, much harder for tools like this to take credentials from the LSASS process. That will only work in Windows 8.1. But on the other hand, they have taken measures that if somebody logs on with administrative credentials, then those credentials will stay very shortly in memory. Because currently, even after logging off, the administrator credentials will still be in memory and will still be stealable using pass the hash. So that will be shortened, that time will be shortened. Then there are local accounts that can also be misused, and the ways to misuse local accounts will be restricted for both Windows 8.1 and Windows 7. And Microsoft introduced a new way to connect to RDP sessions. And this is quite interesting, because when you're logging on to an RDP session, normally you log on and you're logged on locally with NTLM or Kerberos and everything, and you get a full access token, and if somebody is able to steal your credentials in the RDP session, well, then they are you all over the network. Now, with the restricted RDP modus, you are logging on with RDP using Kerberos, only Kerberos, in such a way that you only have access to the local system that you're logging on with RDP. So your credentials are not available to be used over the network from the machine that you logged on to. They call it RDP restricted admin mode, and the client for that will also be available for Windows 7. And then there will be a new group in AD. There is a new group in AD in Windows Server 2012 R2, the Protected Users Group. And if you are a member of this Protected Users Group, you will only be able to log on to a system using Kerberos. So there will be no offline logon. There will be no NTLM credentials on the system that you're logging onto. It will be much harder to misuse your credentials using pass the hash. So things are happening, and most of these mitigations will be backported to Windows 7, as we heard yesterday. But that's not for strengthening the LSASS.
Oh, it's time for me again.
Yes.
All right. So you saw some tools which are used to create the virus. You saw some tools from Microsoft how to prevent against these attack types. Then he showed also how, I don't know if it's a vulnerability or a bug or hack, pass the hash.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you now how the hackers do that. There are some very similar ways. If I can switch to my PC. No, let's open Internet Explorer. No, not Facebook. Okay. Who does not know that the password should be secure? Long, complex. Anybody here? Then you're in the wrong conference anyway. Good. But I want to show you a tool called Opcrack, which is totally for free. Before I start to talk about anything else, any XP fans? Can I see hands?
I see
so, sir, beautiful. At least I got one. I'm happy. Look, if you're using in Windows XP a password which is just numeric or alphabetical, and doesn't matter how long your password is, I need only a 380 megabyte worth of attack file. What is this? It's a table which has words which try to brute force your passwords. Okay? It's free, ready for you to download. If you have some complex characters, the table files jumps to 7.5 gigabyte. Just alone a reason why to move away from XP. And as you can see, the success rate is around 96%. Vista, I'm skipping it. It's still called Vista, but the Spatial Excel is basically Windows 7, and 8 is Windows 8. I don't know if you noticed, with Windows 8, your character, your password, if it's up to 8 characters or 9 characters, then maybe it can be cracked, but you need a 52 gigabyte file. If it's complex, and only up to 8 characters. If it's 9, sorry, the tool is not good enough. You need 2 terabytes of a file to be able to crack it. But if it's 15 characters, good luck for the hacker. All right, I think we all understand this, right? The importance of password. How can you use Opcrack? If you like Windows, here's Windows. Just to answer one of the session feedbacks, I wish I could know who did done it. You can do it with a Windows tool, because I was talking about it on Monday. You can also do it with Kali Linux or Backtrack, as it used to call. All what you have to do is applications, Kali Linux, and this is free. You can just go to your favorite search engine, which is called Bingle. Then you can go to password attacks. Choose. The menu is yours. I don't know if you see, Opcrack is here. Pass the hash, beautiful, thank you very much, is here. Other types of attacks, so I'm going to leave it to you. As we are talking about Windows today, I'm just going to jump to my Server 2012 PC, if I can find it. Let's do some fun stuff. Control-Delete, I'm not going to tell you my password, if I know how to type it. Here's my password. I'm launching a tool called LCP. You can just search for it. I did pre-install it before the demo to save time. It's a freeware. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to, as you can see, ready for password recovering. So it's a password recover. Sorry, you can't see it, right? It's a password recovery tool. Okay? So what I can do, I can just come to File. You can do some other stuff, view hashes, but I want to import hashes. Even though it says remote computer, it's my local PC. I'm going to import it from the registry. And, the hashes are here. I didn't type WCE, this and that. I'm too lazy. I'm a hacker.
You started LCP.
Yeah, I double-clicked. So what is this? I need the passwords. Start. Again, just to make the demo faster, I use small passwords. As you can see, the passwords are getting cracked. What is if it's longer than 8 characters? Sorry, I can't help you too much.
So it's now actually cracking the passwords using the table file that you downloaded from the website that you just showed?
That's not that demo, that's the next demo.
Okay.
All right? So this is one of the tools. Now, I was supposed to do that one first. Thank you for reminding. Sorry, just your memory. Get it back. Opcrack. Here's Opcrack. Opcrack. I didn't install it yet. Doesn't matter. Let's install it together. I go to my tools, ethical hacker tools, system hacking, password tracking tools, Opcrack. Sorry, this is supposed to be installed before. I just reset it. By the way, I'm just using the default XP table.
The small one.
Don't download. I got it here already.
Yes.
So it's here. Finish. Now if I send a Windows key, Opcrack, Opcrack. Opcrack is here. Now, I can just load hashes. To be able to load hashes, what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to use another tool called pwdump, sorry. I'm just going back, pwdump7, right-click, CMD here. Now I have to type, and it's very hard, pwdump7. As you can see, it did start to get me the hashes. Now, I'm going to do pwdump7, and I would like to export it to C drive. Call it, I hope you like it. Don't worry about the spelling mistake. I was too lazy to write it down. I go to my C drive. I hope you like that. Here's my hashes. I can get a single hash without the codes. Single hash here. Copy it. Just any user. I go back to my Opcrack. I'm loading a single hash file. Pass it in. And as soon as I click crack, it will go ahead. It will take some time. Lucky me, I selected the guest user, which doesn't have any any file on it. But you got the idea, right? Or I can just go, again, let me stop that. I can just load the whole file. I'm just going to C drive. And same idea. Click in crack. It should take a few seconds. As you can see, it's running a brute force at the background. And the password will appear shortly. I think you got the idea. And you know how I'm going to embed it to a file and send it across. So while this is, here we go. The password is test here. The rest should come shortly. OK. Let's do also one more crack, which I call rainbow crack. You can just go to rainbow crack. It's a GUI. Works the same way. I can go put a single hash, the same one.
Wasn't that the empty one?
That's the empty one, right? Thank you. Let me just copy something else. I'm going back here. Paste it. What's the password? I can add also the whole table. creating tables can take some time. You can go to Oxid IT, where you can download Kenable. I'm pretty sure most of you do know it. There is also a software called WinRTGen. You can just generate some tables, and as soon as I click on it, I don't know if you can see it, plain text, green, hashes, and the password is exactly green. This is just one example. All right, how can I hack a system? I can use Backtrack. Now I'm going to hack Windows 7. I can use Scully, but for this demonstration, I'm going to use Backtrack. Uh-oh. Sorry. This was not expected. The system restarted. It was working a few seconds ago. So you're not supposed to usually see that. It's supposed to be ready, and it was ready.
It's almost ready.
Almost ready. So, and I don't know if you can see it. The quieter you become, the more you're able to hear. So you can sniff. Let's create a virus first. If you think creating viruses is hard, I'm going to change this. I'm going to use Metasploit, exploration tools, network explanation tools, Metasploit, MS Console. I can just use it for my own PC as well. As you can see, Metasploit is here. But just, I got the pro version. I want to show you how you can do it for free. We're running out of time, so what I'm going to do is quickly. Sorry, I'm going to jump here because this is a bit faster. All right, what I'm doing here is I'm just going to create a virus where typing, all what I'm doing is typing a command, which is basically saying, hey, Metasploit, can you use, please, the Metapreter command to create a virus, which I'm creating. And I'm just going to save this virus straight into my desktop. You're going to see right now. Actually, it's here. I'm creating into my desktop, MS Payload, Windows, Metapreter, reverse TCP/IP. I'm just creating it here. Then I'm sharing it with my client. I'm going to load the video up. You can watch it later. This is in my Windows 7 PC. I'm loading it in the client's PC. The guy is going to download it from the internet. He's going to double-click and run it. As soon as he runs it, it's going to, warn you it's not a secure file, but doesn't matter. Now I'm going to jump to my Metasploit file again. I'm just creating a handler, telling, hey, handler, can you please make sure you go and, I'm just typing the command. I'm saying just, hey, handler, can you please start the payload, which I created. I know now my victim is there. Please start the reverse TCP connections. It is going to start it. As soon as it started, I'm just going to go and say, hey, exploit the PC. As soon as I press exploit, you can see now, the hacker, the user is enjoying the game here. While he's enjoying the game, you will see that the connection has started between me and the user. And as the connection has started, I'm just going to interrupt with the session. Say, hey, sessions, this is the session ID. Please let me see what's going on there. Now I'm in the session. All what I'm going to do is type shell. I don't know if you can see, I'm inside Windows 7. I'm just creating some files. I'm browsing the Windows remotely. You can do it. I'm going to put all the steps in my blog. Okay? Please go and watch it step by step. The tools, Metasploit is free. Backtrack is free. Windows 7, you got it.
It's not free.
You can try it yourself.
Okay, go back to the slide deck.
So I think you got the idea. And the main thing is hackers use different tools. You saw how we use PSExec. You still have used Metasploit, Kali Linux, Upcrack, and I think if you have more questions, please come and see us. So as a summary, please make sure you do not use admin credentials. As Raymond said, please use modern apps. I know you hear it enough. Please update your systems. Make sure you got antivirus. It's better than nothing. And use EMET.
Well, we've seen during the conference that Microsoft is making steps to make Windows more safe. So I think lots of us have been ignoring Windows 8 and 8.1. Security is being improved with every version currently. So if you look over all the new features, like some of them that we have been through to this session, you see that real stuff is happening. Real threats are being mitigated. It's not for nothing. So I hope that you enjoyed our session, that you learned something.
So thank you very much for watching. Please, before you go, if you listen 1 second, do you want to donate $1 for poor people? Go fill the evaluations. If you're happy, our name is Raymond Erdal. If not, Mark Resnovich.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Update 1 is much more secure than Windows 7. For the ones that didn't notice that, he's going to show you a couple of cool stuff. But again, the bad guys are not just waiting for Microsoft for the improvements, right? They're doing some other stuff as well. Keep in mind, there are 2 types of organizations. One, who knows they have been hacked. 2, they are still not aware they've been hacked. So the question here is, please, do you know any big organization, let me know if you know one, who is not hacked yet? So if not, I'm going to... All right. So I think everybody knows most of the big corporations, organizations, governments were hacked. Governments started to hire professional hackers. Sorry, security professionals. I don't know if you know, like one of the big economies, big population country, last year they collected around 7 terabyte data from others, officially. I mean, unofficially, I don't know what you want to call it. All right, moving forward, there's going to be, again, 2 types of organizations. One, they are ready for this kinds of attack, like you guys. Why? You are here to learn. You could be outside partying, but thank you again, you took the time. Full room, nearly 1,200 people. We are really excited. But number 2 is, they don't. They're still sticking to Windows XP, saying Windows XP is nice, and to be honest, it was. But please, I'm going to show you some old tools, which is still working on Windows 8.1, update 1. Okay, as you know, attackers are putting all their efforts to take your identity. Your identity, I mean, I did mention in a few other sessions, your identity is your most valuable stuff. Why? Because these days, once I get your identity, I can get a credit card, I can get a passport, I can go kill someone as you. If you think this is only happening in the movies, please read the news. And again, if you check the news, we're getting more and more security news, right? Based on what is happening in cyber criminals. 30, 40 years ago, Godfather used to be a popular movie. Yeah, mafia, people around him. But now, things has changed. Cyber criminal movies are getting more popular. I mean, don't forget, movies are just indication of real life. Okay, so there is an important shift in the bad guys. If you think your credit card is secure, if you think you can't really buy everything what you like from the internet, you are wrong. Do you want me to prove it for you? Please look in the slide. And this is not from my usual web browser. I'm telling you, for this you have to connect to a different type of web browser, which I'm not allowed to talk here. So, welcome to day 3 at TechEd. I'm pretty sure you saw enough slides, you did listen enough for music. We thought, starting in a different way. Hopefully you're going to enjoy the next 25 minutes. And are we ready yet? Yeah?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, let's start. First of all, warning. You are going to see some stuff which you are not allowed to do in real life without permission. Even in your own network. I mean, at home, do whatever you like, but in your corporate environment, please do not test out if you don't have any permissions. Most of the stuff that you are going to see today is just to, as I said in my other two sessions, wake you up. I'm pretty sure all of you are awake, but we want to show how hackers trick you, how they get access to you, and how you can use Windows to mitigate this kind of attacks. Do we agree on this? Yes? Cool. All right. My name is Erdal Özkaya. I work for Chem Technologies. You might wonder what Chem Technologies does. They do sell load balancers. But I do also work at Charles Sturt University. So I am one of the lecturers there. I teach master classes, as you can guess, on security. I teach ethical hacking classes, or so we call it. Probably you see it. I'm also a certified ethical instructor, a licensed penetration tester. So my job is to make sure that you guys, but please come and see me after the session. I will tell you how you can reach these kinds of information. Look at this. They are all real. You can buy drugs. You can buy weapons. I mean, this is America. You can buy weapons anyway, Houston, Texas. But I'm just talking about the rest of the part of the world, which you can't. And so why I'm showing you this? Don't worry, I'm not here. I mean, some of the guys wrote it the other day in the feedback. He just was trying to scare us. No, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm showing you the fact. It's up to you to take mitigations or not. All right, and I would like to give a credit to my friend, Dan Weiss. He's in Australia, He's one of my students who learned penetration testing from me. Now he's in the field. He did send me actually these 2 slides, so thank you for him. He's going to watch this, I'm sure. All right. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see slides, you want to see demos, right? So now what we're going to do is,
I'll take care of it.
I'm just going to quickly tell you, I'm the bad guy. I'm going to create a virus. Because if I tell you, hey guys, I got some freebies here to give away. Here's a USB stick. Who wants it for free? Beautiful. What is if I tell you there is a Trojan inside, a rootkit? It's a 32 gig Windows to go, which has nothing on. Good guys learn how to stop the bad guys. Again, probably you also noticed my accent. For the ones who was in my session, I can see a few of them. You already know this joke, but let me do it one more time. Seriously, the accent is not my fault. Let me tell you why. Turkish parents, made in Germany, living in Australia, and this is what's coming out. So, promise you're going to get the encryption key within 3 to 4 minutes. So it should be fine, okay? I hope so. If you see you don't understand me, just raise your hand, hit Raymond, and I take the message. Raymond?
I'll try the translation for you. Well, my name is Raymond Convalius. I am an architect and trainer from the Netherlands. I'm independent since 15 years. I did write a couple of books. My first book is not on this slide. I call it My Miserable Failure. Windows Vista for XP professionals. I don't know whoever did the upgrade. It's no longer on the market. Windows 7 for XP professionals is also no longer on the market. It's a free download now. And on a daily basis, I am an architect that helps large companies to upgrade to the modern technology. Earl.
That's me, right? Okay. Probably you know, Microsoft is doing, we are not from Microsoft, so we're going to show you the good and the bad, as much as we can. So Microsoft is doing really lots of improvement. I don't know if you tested yourself, Windows 8 or 8.1.